Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Lucid. We're hopping back into our game with Sceleria in the Crucible, and it's turn 58. So we are in the middle of a heated war with Marignon, and we'll go ahead and go through this turn. We're getting to the point, though, in the game where there's going to be so much action, I'm not wanting to click on everything individually. I think I will maybe for the next couple of turns, and then after that we'll probably navigate more from the map instead of clicking on all the events. So, you can see we're summoning Banes, and these are going to be better carriers that are not going to die from flames from the sky. And we have summoned another Vampire Lord. We've cast Troll King Court, who is going to be casting... the Troll King is going to be casting Army of Lead. And wow, look what we found here. Let's go ahead and check all this out. So, in this province, we found a Pearl Farm, a Sunken Galley, and a Conch. So that's 3 gems, 2 of which are Astral, which I definitely like. What else? I think that's about it. In terms of Blood Slaves, we're not getting that many, like 14 per turn. That's not very much. Though we did have one of our guys casting Curse of Blood. So hopefully this will pick up a bit. We're never going to be like a blood superpower unless the game goes really late. We're about to, I think probably, maybe not versus Marignon, but definitely when we start fighting Agartha, we're going to start using our Vampire Lords in combat. And that will be so they can cast things like Rush of Strength, which I don't know if I have researched yet actually, but we'll find out. Okay, now for battle. So we'll click on these, see if... Okay, we won that. Agartha seems to have... Oh, we bumped him here. And he won this, though he took some losses. It looks like Agartha won this one with his Magma Children. Okay, we have a battle here in Dunnermark. We'll go ahead and watch this. We are fighting Sceleria here. Now, this is what I would call... a very large raiding party. This is not a normal army because I have some of my... Actually, I don't know. This would be a small army, really. Because I probably have, what, 12 mages? I just don't have a lot of skeletons. But you could put this many mages behind more troops and they would be more effective. But this is not a raiding party, yeah. This is meant to fight some heavy resistance. So on his side, he has some priests, some flagellants who will die very quickly, and then a few witch hunters. This is one of his high inquisitors who's a holy 3. But this is not going to be enough. One of the things I didn't see him do, which he can do, is because he's an astral holy nation, it's a little tricky, but he can get up divine channeling, and then that makes these guys significantly more effective. So he's doing it. He's laying down a fair amount of damage because he has a lot of mages and priests. Like we see Flame Eruption there, which is a pretty damn cool spell. But actually, I think I have my sound off for this. We'll go ahead and fix that for the next battle. But yeah, he's gonna basically lose here. Let's go ahead and fix our sound real quick. That should probably be fine. I keep the music off because this music is copyrighted and they flag up on my videos. So it's actually funny, when I play Dominions, I'll put the Dominions 5 soundtrack on YouTube on in the background instead of like having to remember to come in here and click it on and click it off. Because if I forget to click it off and I'm recording, then I'm gonna get the stupid little copyright infringement. Which isn't a big deal, but anyway. We've also moved a rather big army on top of here in Witchhaven. Oh. No, he's moved a big army on top of us. Well, we'll get to that. Scythia. Okay. We'll just take a look at this, because this is a big Agarthan force. Let's just see what he has here. So we've got the Fairy Queen, the Queen of Air Elementals, a Lich, Don't know what his job exactly is going to be. And, yeah, the typical Agarthan shit. What is he? No, I don't see armies of lead or anything. These guys are going to be basically immune to skeletons, which is unfortunate. But I can still apostasy them. So I'm going to need way more mages to fight. Probably like 20. Like if I do divine channeling and then I just have a bunch of my other dudes that are not part of a communion, they can just spam apostasy all day. That will be kind of hilarious. And I think... Was that this one? Yeah. Yeah, so it's basically a bunch of raiding here. And you can see Agartha's moving in so heavy-handed. He's not really leaving... Like, I can try to take this. I think this army's probably going to go on top of this fort, but we'll probably bump here. But there's not... He's coming in so damn fast. And we have a nap with him, which I don't really want to break. Well, I won't break it, but I don't want to end the nap yet. Because I do want him to get a little more committed on Marignon. But now maybe should have been the turn to break it, though. I don't know. I'm not doing it yet. And this is the last little Ysian fort. So anyway, we are... actually, let me double check events real quick. Nature Gems, Faithful, which is a crappy little sword. And then you can see we're getting zapped by Abyssia, killed 60 of our dudes. And most of those I think were right here, maybe? Or I don't know. They could have... No, they can't be here. So, if you are Abyssia and you're fighting Sceleria, he has Eternal Pyre and Purgatory. So with Purgatory, it kills everything in his Dominion, and he's blood sacrificing. So his Dominion is getting pushed all into my stuff, and he can blood sacrifice a lot. Like, he has Holy Threes. So anyway, he can do tons and tons of Dominion push. And what I'm going to have to do, unfortunately, is basically have these guys preach, because the second his Dominion comes in, like, all my guys are going to start dying. And we do not like that. So, basically, if I have less than 2 candles, I'm going to have a huge priest core preaching. And so we will hopefully get that happening pretty damn soon. I do want my Dominion here, which will be a little tricky. The cool thing about these guys when you get the Soulless from Life After Death is they're upkeep free. The bad thing about them is they can't preach anymore. They can reanimate still, but they can't preach. So I'm going to need to find somebody to come underwater here and preach, and I'm going to need to preach my little butt off over here. But I'm not going to have enough preachers. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm moving in a bunch of these guys to right here, and then I'm also... I forget if I have them already. Yeah, I've got a bunch of Shambler skins. Basically, we're going to give these guys that we're moving in Shambler skins, and then they're going to come over here and help me preach. And the reason I'm using Thaumaturgs is because they're Holy 2, and so they can preach way better than Holy 1s. Holy 2s are tons better when it comes to preaching down enemy Dominion, and they're going to be able to get your Dominion up higher where the enemy Dominion's less likely to encroach. So, yeah, for Dominion fighting, Holy 1s are kind of crap. They're not really worth it. Holy 3s often are too scarce, depending on the nation you're playing, to really use them to fight a Dominion war. But Holy 2s, usually you can get in some kind of abundance, and with Sceleria you definitely can. So we'll be using Holy 2s to preach, and ideally we want to get all of this ocean cordoned off with our Dominion, not only because we will have our very nice scales in here, but that will make it very difficult for Marignon to push in. And of course we will be able to take all of this nasty shit down once we get Arcane Nexus up, which is coming. With 26 Pearl income, we will get there. I think I need to have about 250 Pearls to cast, though I might want to cast with 300. So I don't know how long we'll wait, but I'm going to try not to use pearls for anything else, and then I'm probably going to end up having to alchemize a lot of stuff because I'm going to want to cast it pretty quick. The other major order of business is there's this kind of weird tactic that I'm having to use. One is I'm giving Demon Banes, which are the only thing I can forge that has fire resistance. It's kind of like a really expensive Ring of Fire. It does give hit points though, which is nice, but I'm giving them to all of my key mages, especially mages who have other items. I'm also giving it to these guys so that they don't die in combat, though that may be kind of overkill. They have pretty high stats, and this is also so they won't die from flames from the sky. But because I'm worried about flames from the sky, from both Marignon and Abyssia, I have to do this weird leapfrog attack, where the province I attack is not the province I'm coming from. So like here, yeah, okay, all these guys are gonna attack. Oh wait, am I actually doing that? Oh, it appears I'm not actually. So I'm kind of banking on him not hitting me, but I'm moving in before I... Basically, I'm attacking him here, and so this, he could Flames from the Sky this and then potentially win this fight. If he doesn't Flames from the Sky, I'll win. But I want to be able to attack from multiple directions, so this army's largely going to move here, and we'll probably fight some Agarthan force. We're going to be moving a secondary force in here, which is basically going to be these guys. And a lot of these will probably move in case he doesn't patrol this turn. And they will be able to basically move on top of the fort next turn. So if we have a battle. The tricky thing with this, and I actually don't know if I could make it. Can I make it? Oh, I can. Huh. I'm wondering why I don't do that, because these guys are probably going to get flames from the sky, so I should probably move here from... I know some of them are. Okay, some of them actually are. Okay, so I am doing that. So half of my dudes are moving here in like a setup for next turn, so that they can kind of reinforce. And then half of my dudes are moving on top. And the reason I'm doing that, because if he flames from the sky this army, I'll lose half of these guys, so... When you come and look here at who's actually coming in, this guy's coming to bring some earth gems from my troll. I've got a bunch of communion slaves. These guys who have the demon banes on them, I'm not really worried about. But like this guy, I think he's I think coming from a different province. And I'm probably going to be casting things twice. Like, let's see where Dentanius is. Okay, he's coming from here. So that's kind of risky, because anybody coming from that province could die to... Okay. So I'm not actually doing it. Well, no, I'm doing it. I have Delegus here coming in from a different province. So Delegus will be coming in up here, and yeah, here he is. So what I've done is I have redundancy in my spells, so that if the guy coming from here dies, somebody else will cast it coming from a different province, and it's unlikely he'll Flamestorm both of these. So that means even if I do get hit, there's a good chance I still win the battle. And then a lot of my troops are packed away on these guys who are not going to die. But I still have a ton packed away on the other guys. So anyway, I should be able to bring at least, I don't know, 800 dudes. And then I'll have at least 4 to 8. I'll probably have at least 8 communion slaves. And I'll be able to get life after death and rigor mortis up. And then this guy's definitely going to get Army of Gold. And just that alone should be sufficient to win this fight. But it's kind of crazy dance work you have to do when you're worried about that crazily powerful remote spell. And in other news... I can't remember if I said this last episode. I probably did, but we've negotiated... Yeah, no, I probably did. Yeah, Abyssia and I are on kind of a very, very thin piece. And I've also told Marignon, I've said, hey, I could attack this and probably take it, but I won't do it because I want you to be able to fight off Agartha. So I'm like, hey, we're not having a truce. Like, this is the land I want, but I want you to be able to put up some resistance against Agartha, so be sure to use your armies here or whatever. Because so far, all the mages which were here, he's moved out. Now, I don't know... So this is... If you're playing Marignon and you're playing to win, What you have to understand is right now you're having a Diplo failure, and that because he is so big, like he used to come down to here and then had a lot of the island. And then he's been big all game, and he has good scales, and he's got a lot of his good summons coming out. People were kind of scared of him, and he was way easier to invade, whereas I'm very hard to invade. So people were like, okay, maybe we should attack Marignon. Now, to get yourself out of this, what you're almost always going to have to do is you're going to... The best thing you can do is wallop one of the people coming in to fight you, and to give concessions to the other so that they'll essentially leave you alone and redirect their attention. So like if Marignon said, hey, I'll give you this whole island, and I'll give you most of this, like he might not even have to give me the throne, right? Like if he gave me all of this, and then he says, but this will come at the cost of a nap, and I'm going to send all of my forces to fight Agartha off, well then we wouldn't be having this battle here, where I'm probably going to kill him. He would be able to take these two huge armies and go fight Agartha. And then doing that, because there's nothing, he can't tell Agartha, hey, we can have a nap if, you only take this, because right now Agartha can take everything, and Agartha would definitely rather take everything, because there's nothing threatening his armies. So to get Agartha to take anything less than a complete victory, he needs to have his armies over here. So anyway, that's some kind of thoughts on diplomacy, but we're gonna raid a little bit more too. And what did we finish researching? Okay, I think we have construction. Did we go ahead? Let me see what. Okay, yeah, I think we have our dimensional rod. Yeah, we do. So it's really good that we got this because only one person can get it. We're not going to put it on because we get horror marked pretty damn fast, and I don't want to start that horror counter because the guy who has it is going to be the guy that puts up Arcane Nexus. So I just want to have it so that nobody else can get it, and then we will put up Arcane Nexus with it in not very long. Otherwise, it's basically just troop movement. What I'm hoping will happen is Agartha gets all this, and then we get all of this. But so far it's not going well because, like, you can see he moved his big doom stack on top of my stuff. Now, actually, I forgot. He did actually at this time in Steam propose a ceasefire where he pulls all his troops out, but I don't take any of his stuff. And I was like, man, I can't do that. So, I probably could have diploed back better and been like, dude, you're not going to keep all this. Like, the best thing you can do is consolidate, fight off Agartha, and then come back when people think either me or Agartha is the big bad guy. Yeah. So I think that's it for this turn. We're now going to load up turn 59. And we'll try to do two. So we called a Wraith Lord too. The nice thing about Wraith Lords is I'm going to have somebody that I have absolutely no fear of them getting Rigor Mortis off every fight when I put a Demon Bane on them. And also when I'm fighting Abyssia, I don't have to. It's going to be a squad leader. I don't have to worry about it all from Infernal Disease, which is an assassination spell. So it's nice to have, because my mages are all pretty fragile. So even if they're immune to Flames from the Sky, they'll be very weak to Infernal Disease. So it's nice to have, a very reliable 210 troops. Yeah. I mean, if I wanted to go all out too, I could give him, I could profit. Where the frick is my profit? Can I profitize anybody? Oh, shit, I can't. I should profitize him. The thing is, because... Oh, wait, no, I don't actually have good stuff. I forgot I was thinking of another game I'm in. These guys are so good to profit. What you can do if you profitize these guys, it's kind of cheating almost. But one of the things about being a prophet, you're going to get your bless all the time. So if you take another game I'm in with Sceleria, I have... like a much better bless, which is going to give me a lot of resistances so that my mages don't freaking just die to everything in the late mid-game. But anyway, if you make him a prophet, he gets to keep his armor, and he's going to get all these resistances. Being a prophet also makes you immune to charm, which is one of the ways that you can finally get rid of immortals. And then if you empower him in fire, he can cast Phoenix Fire, and that is pretty much going to make this guy an absolute monster, because he'll have all the resistances. Well, I don't know, I might put some clips from my other game up, even though I'm not going to do a whole nother Let's Play, I don't think, on Sceleria. But just know you are watching a non-optimized build here. But yeah, they can do crazy shit if you do that. The other game too, I have Undead Leadership as part of my Bless, and so this guy would be able to lead like 300 troops and be totally impossible to kill. So anyway, kind of cool. I haven't done that yet. I'm not nearly this far along in that game, but I'm doing probably just as well. Yeah. Okay, so now what we've done, this is the next turn. Oh, we'll go through the events real quick. We cast Wraithlord, very good. We're trying to be seduced. We killed the Troubadour. Okay, so there's a big battle here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so this is our battle with Marignon, and you can see he came out to defend. And I don't believe that he cast Flames from the Sky, so this is all of my dudes. And this is a lot of guys. They're not going to be easy to kill. Now, on Marignon's side, we have a bunch of Knights of the Chalice. This is probably about 110 of them, maybe more. A bunch of these Shamans, and then a bunch of these Witch Hunters. Now, I do not know, but I do not expect that he will be doing Firestorm, but if he did, that would probably be a good call here. Though, unfortunately for him, I'm going to be doing Armies of Gold. So let's go ahead and get this battle in the proper perspective. And there goes their Communioning and Phoenix Powering. Or Phoenix Powering. Okay. And there goes Rain. And I forget who cast Will of the Fates. Did I or did he? I think he cast it. Let's go check. I don't think... No, Will of the Fates hasn't gone yet. So you can see my front line getting absolutely obliterated. Come down a little bit. Okay, he cast Will of the Fates. So his guys are all lucky, which is pretty damn good. What did I cast? So I cast Army of Lead now. So my guys have just ridiculous protection, though they're weak to shock, but he has no real way of doing significant shock damage. And we're resistant to fire, which is quite nice, because what's going to happen is a lot of... Whoa, whoops. A lot of the fire spells are going to first check against fire resistance, and then they're going to do armor-piercing damage. So having that additional protection is pretty nice. So he's killed a lot of stuff, but now Rigor Mortis is set in, and most of his guys are fatigued out, so a lot of the mage spam is going to be drying up, which is really how he's going to kill most of my troops. Now, I've also got Foul Vapors up. In addition to, I think Relief is mine. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Is Relief his? Yeah, I don't know. I think Relief is mine. It doesn't look like I... Did I cast Divine Blessing? I did. Reinvigoration 2. Well, I'm not sure whose it is, because these guys should have 4 Reinvigoration if... Okay. I don't have Darkness up. I don't know what happened there. I probably should have cast that. Yeah. But Foul Vapors is probably... Yeah, he probably... You know, he has these Shamans. He should have been dropping Poison Ward or something like that. That would help him a lot against Foul Vapors, because Foul Vapors actually is going to do a lot of the work here. Because I'm going to have a really hard time killing these guys. What you can see, though, is some of my undead have made it to the back lines. And you can see he's really holding the line here. I think if I didn't have Foul Vapors, or if he had Poison Resistance, I think I would probably lose this. But you can see I'm now making it into his Mage Core. And a lot of his guys, they're fatigued out, so they're going to be taking critical damage. Like, if we look at his knights now, they're at 84. So they're definitely going to be having... I don't think you can see it here. You get a reduced defense and attack from being tired. And a lot of these guys are starting to fatigue out, so... Without Rigor Mortis, or without Foul Vapors, I probably would lose here. But you can see now they're really getting surrounded. They're probably about to rout. They're not yet. Not yet. And at the back, you see we're filling up our lines with more of these dudes. Also, our guys have converted to Solus, which actually is nice, because I'm going to, of course, get rid of their upkeep. And get slightly better chassis in general. Okay, they've now retreated. Yeah, they're in a full rout now. But we've got them fully surrounded, at least all their mages. So this is going to be the end of this big army, which we have fought several times and lost against. Yeah. And at the very end, you can see they're all fatigued out. Nothing much they can do. This guy's at 180 fatigue. They do die pretty slowly with luck, and like a lot of these guys are luck and ethereal. If we look at all the buffs on these lizards, they're lucky, regenerating, ethereal. I don't know what else they have. You can see the lizards survived a lot longer than a lot of the other folks because they have poison resistance built in. So they did not fall victim to foul vapors. And that is the end of this big battle. So here's the battle report from that. We lost, you can see it's important we brought all these undead because we lost so many of them. We lost about 1,000, but we brought enough. We brought 1,500. We converted a bunch of our thaumaturgs, except one, into Solus, so that's nice. And then all of our important mages survived. Unfortunately for Marignon, he lost just about everything. The only thing that survived, he had one witch hunter survive, he had a friar survive, and just a couple miscellaneous troops. You know, a couple crossbowmen, a knight. Yeah, basically everything died. So, pretty big when you commit your mage core like this to a fight. If you lose it, like if you lose... how many? At least 70 mages in one fight. It's really hard to recover from that. And not to mention, this is coming on the heels of Agartha invading him. So Marignon's really at this point now out of the game. The problem is, though I have won these big battles, I do not know if I'm going to get any of the spoils. Because Agartha is raiding very, very effectively. And because I have a nap with him, I can't really just attack once Agartha does a raid. And then Yis, who is holding out to the very end, kills this assassin, who is pinging inside. And, yeah. Okay, so that is it for this turn. What else? So let's take a quick look at our blood hunting situation. Here we're going to forge a bloodthorn. We're going to start getting more of the blood items so that we just have them, because we're going to need them anyway, and we can use them to blood hunt better. So we're going to do that. He's going to make a bloodthorn, and you can see I'm using hammers when I'm making blood items in general. And that's because when you're trying to break into blood, your slaves are so precious. In many ways, they're more valuable than normal gems. So... yeah, so we've got these 3 guys blood hunting. One of these is a vampire. I put this rabbit foot charm on him in case he gets zapped by flames from the sky, though it's not really a risk anymore. It was a risk earlier. I can probably take it off. In terms of research, You can see we're still steaming along at close to 3,000 research, and what that means, we're running up enchantment 9. We'll probably be at Arcane Nexus well before we can cast it, because I won't have enough gems to do a good enough overcast. Yeah, and then we're going to take a quick trip up to Blood 8, which will give us Strength of Rush of Strength and Life for a Life, both of which will be useful and castable by my Vampire Lords. I don't think anything else here is particularly useful. After that, we'll probably go back up in Evocation. Though I may also want to make a trip up Conjuration and steal... Oh, nobody has that up yet. Never mind. And I might put Well of Misery up. But we'll see. We'll see. What else? I think we're going to storm this castle now that we have that we've won. Do we have a battle here? I think Agartha sent... Oh no, it's just me attacking Marignon. Who assassinated us here? Oh, this was the Troubadour. Why didn't we search here? I'm not sure. Anyway, we're moving in. We're going to storm this castle. I don't expect much issue there. We raided here. We're probably going to get off of this because I think we're going to die. I think he was just expecting, maybe I attack with the big army here, so he's just moving around. Really should be giving me this island and pulling his stuff back to protect, I don't know, like his cap and all of his lands, which he has nothing to defend. Yeah. I mean, he could have me as an ally. He just has to pull his stuff back. Anyway. I mean, it's not something you would ever want to do. I mean, Marignon definitely wants this land badly, but he's essentially kicking himself out of the game by trying to keep it. Whereas he has, I mean, if you look at it, he has tons of research. He has some of the best late-game summons in the game. If he lost these islands, he would definitely be able to diplo with whoever he wants to do whatever he wants. Everybody would want him as an ally if he could fight off Agartha, which is going to be tough. Like, this is going to be a really hard army to kill. Yeah, so anyway. Not sure what he's doing there. And then... So we're going to send a small little squad on top of this. If he moves his guys back, we'll probably die, but whatever. We're not really raiding. And I think that's about it for this turn. Yeah. We're basically going to be storming this. We're going to be moving these guys here. I do not know what's going to happen. If Agartha moves a big group here, we could lose. So we'll see. I've also started building a palisade here. I think I started it this turn or last. I'm going to be building palisades here also. I've got a bunch of my trolls I'm moving in here. I would kind of just want these guys to die. Though, actually, I can probably use them as Soul Vortex buddies for some of my dudes. What else? I think that's about it. I think that's it. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Cheers.